This news alert brought to you by Casuarina All Sports Club. All your entertainment under one roof.
Good evening, I'm Kathleen Gazzola with your 9 local news update. Territorians had been warned the figures would be grim, but today's coronavirus financial report reveals an even deeper budget black hole than expected. The Chief Minister using the opportunity for an election pitch, urging voters to stick with him and his team. It's the most Territorians will see of the books before Election Day, and it's bleak.
We are throwing the kitchen sink at this.
The Chief Minister's current favourite slogan front and centre on the coronavirus financial report. Inside, revealing net debt will spiral to $8 billion by the end of this financial year, more than $1 billion higher than forecast in November. And the fiscal deficit will top $2 billion.
Saving lives and saving jobs is not free. It costs money.
The biggest hit has been the shrinking GST pool, impacted by a nationwide drop in consumer spending.
In 2021, there will be a $608 million GST cut to the Territory's revenue.
In order to turn that around, many variables are at play.
The best way out of this in the short term is to see the virus come into control, see the country return to normal and get that spending going as it was.
Despite revenue disappearing, Labor still unveiled new stimulus spending and relief measures in a bid to keep the economy ticking over. With extra tourism vouchers and business and community grants, COVID spending comes to $383 million, trumpeting an economic return of more than $700 million. The Chief Minister defending the spending as necessary.
Our revenue base will recover. We will come back from this. We are the safest. Our recovery can be the strongest.
But that is some time away.
It's never been more critical to get more jobs in more areas.
The multi-billion-dollar question is when.
It's a health emergency and it has a big impact on the economy, and no one can give you the health answers right now. But when the vaccine will come along, when the lockdowns will end, if there will be other lockdowns, but I can't give you the answers to those questions.
And while he claims he's not campaigning, a day out from caretaker mode, the Chief Minister still made his election pitch.
It is my hope that Territorians will stay the course, stick with this team and see this through. I do not believe that now is the time to go back to the cuts and chaos of the past.
Positioning Labor as the safe hands in an unstable and unpredictable future. Darwin has again become the centrepiece of a strengthened defence relationship between the US and Australia. The United States wants to buy land to build a military fuel reserve and develop new defence technology. As Australia and the US strengthen ties to combat the increasing threat of China, the Trump administration is planning to purchase military fuel reserves in the Darwin port.
It's good news for Australia, it's good news for the alliance, and it's particularly good news for Northern Australia.
Adding to the existing US-owned reserves in Darwin, the extra fuel would be an insurance policy in the event of natural disasters or other catastrophes. The Chief Minister this morning described the announcement as thumpingly large, creating what he describes as a lot of jobs while boosting Darwin's responsibility as a key defence area.
Is building on previous decisions that recognise that Darwin is strategically important, with the offshore patrol vessels, with the Tritons, with the F-35s and a host of other things that they're doing.
The Territory is also likely to assist in a joint task force to counter disinformation.
We'll see safe fibre optic cables come into the Northern Territory, dark fibre, that gives you safe point-to-point encryption. And we know through the back of solar we'll be able to deliver zero emissions data centres in the NT.
Michael Gunner also confirming he's in talks about expanding the US Marine Rotational Force program. Ainsley Kosh, 9 News. Thank you for joining us. We'll have more news shortly.